I am currently 437 days celibate, and in my experience, the semen retention journey has been so far divided into 3 main parts. There are no set amount of days for anything. This is simply my own experience, and a rough estimate of the days, so take this part with a grain of salt. Stage 1. Catalytic stage, day 3 to 30. In the beginning stages of semen retention, it is easy to think that this is the magical key to every problem and that with each day you level up and feel better than the day before. You will start to wake up and realize the potency of the vital fluids produced within and begin to realize that this is not a placebo. This is the stage where people tend to tell everyone they meet about retaining, only to be judged by most men. The contrast of a life of consistent release and overproduction of seminal fluid compared to the current journey to homeostasis is quite profound. Stage 2. Detoxification stage, day 31 to 150. In this stage, the initial benefits can seem to lose their power, although if one releases during this stage they will realize that they were mistaken in thinking that the benefits disappeared. You begin to get used to living in a higher state of consciousness. With that higher consciousness though, comes shadow work that is simply inevitable. One can choose to release and go back to a life of vices, but that life will never be remotely satisfactory after peeking into the other side of the veil. Once we get a taste of true spiritual bliss and see that carnal pleasures simply are not compatible with the ultimate contentment, it is very hard to remain complacent in a hedonistic life. This stage is where most people give up. Sometimes this is known as the flatline. Your dopamine receptors are regaining proper sensitivity. Your body is learning to produce a healthy amount of semen as well as to allow the sperm cells to become mature and eventually reabsorbed. All the good in the world is becoming more apparent, but back to the concept of shadow work. The part of us that we try to escape from, that instigated the use of vice in the first place, becomes shoved in our face and we are forced to sit with lots of memories, seeing patterns in our own selves that we do not care for, get more bothered by others, which is usually an indication of something needing to be healed within our own self, feel depressed, require more sleep than before, etc. It is not all bad though. In this stage, it still beats a life of addiction by a lot. However, the catalytic stage can sometimes produce a false feeling that benefits become infinitely more potent simply by going one more day without a nut. I promise this stage is where the learning happens and is of utmost value long term. Stage 3. Creative stage, day 151 infinity. Once the junk of the past has been processed to the point where it no longer holds you back, you enter what I like to call creative mode. This is where the fun really begins. Currently, I get hornier than I've ever been. It's like when you're a kid and you see your first bikini picture. This energy can be transmuted by simply allowing it to flow. The negative parts of the detoxification stage have subsided, and now the waves of life can be ridden how they are meant to be. There are still bad days, and they sometimes come without reason, but as I have progressed, each bad day is better than the last bad day, and each good day is better than the last good day. I would say that I have a good day 95% of my days lately, and those 5% bad days are okay because I know the end. You learn to simply go with the flow and see the impermanence of emotions. With the increased sensitivity, rather than seeking huge floods of dopamine, numbing the nervous system, everything feels good when you do it with consciousness. Boring tasks become somewhat entertaining. The feeling of accomplishing a task becomes extremely rewarding. During the detoxification stage, all the patterns we need to fix came up, and the creative stage allows you to actually make the changes with extreme speed. For example, whenever I notice I am not good at something, I do it over and over and over, and semen retention fuels the energy to repeat, which eventually causes me to become good at whatever I was struggling with. Along with meditation, semen retention allows me to see where I can improve, and then fix it. This is why I call it creative mode. Whenever I want to do something, I can become very good at it within only a few weeks if I repeat the process many times over. Finally, the benefits of every 100 days of celibacy are immensely more potent. I journal daily, and when I look back I can see this so much more clearly as well. It is not a straight lineup, and semen retention is not about bursts of ecstasy 24/7 or never feeling bad. Semen retention provides the ability to remain centered and content with anything life can throw at you. I hope this helps new retainers to be inspired to continue on this path, and I hope long-term retainers can relate and perhaps help add to this thought.